Good morning. This is the fourth chapter of Economics, Class 10th NCERT, Globalization and the Indian Economy. Globalization and the Indian Economy. In the previous module, I have discussed about Indian economy before 1991. We have talked about the negative and positive aspects of the Indian economy before 1991. At the end of the module, we have discussed that finally by 1990s, the government was forced to change its economy and we adopted the new economic policy which had three major aspects, that was liberalization, privatization and globalization. So in this particular chapter, we will be discussing globalization and its impact on Indian economy. The very first thing which we have to discuss in this chapter is the multinational corporations, the MNCs. As it is clear from the name, multinational corporations, first of all, these are big corporations which are working in many nations simultaneously. Let me break this thing over here. Multinational, those corporations which are working in many nations simultaneously. Now, the simplest question which will arise in your mind is why these corporations are working in many nations? Why they are not working in only one or two nations? These are big MNCs and their main aim is to earn profit. So, to maximize the profit, you will be working in each nation where you can have the products at cheap cost, and then you will be selling these products at higher cost. The more the difference is between the selling price and the cost price, that is your profit. So obviously these multinational corporations work in near about every that particular nation which provides them the cheapest resources. Let me define this multinational corporations again as per the NCERT book's definition. A company that owns or controls production in more than one nation, that is termed as a multinational corporation. The goods and services are produced globally. Production is organized in increasingly complex ways. So now the question which will arise in your mind is how the production is organized in increasingly complex way. Let me take an example. The spreading of production by an MNC. The spreading of production by a multinational corporation. A large multinational corporation producing industrial equipment designed its product in research centers in the United States. United States has got one of the best infrastructure as far as the research centers are concerned. You people can say that most of the scientists and the software personals belong to India. So why not these MNCs come to India? Obviously, many of the software experts and the scientists belong to India, but India lacks in the infrastructure. We don't provide much of the competition. And if there is not much of the competition, the demand is there, but the supply is not there, it will increase the prices. It will increase the cost. But if we talk about United States, lots of research centers are there. The demand is there, equally followed by the supply. So that decreases the prices, and the main aim of the MNC is to have a profit. So they will be going for their design in the United States, and this is then has the components manufactured in China. Why they manufacture their components in China? Because China provides a very cheap raw material. Lots of employment is there, labor is there, cheap raw material is there. So overall producing the components in China, the prices becomes very less. These are then shipped to Mexico and Eastern Europe where the products are assembled, and the finished products are sold all over the world. Now again a question can arise in your mind that when the production is done in China, why it is taken to other parts of Eastern Europe or Mexico and then assembled. Let me take the example of a company which is producing car. If you produce car, obviously China is a good destination for the production because the iron and steel is very cheap in China. But if you are manufacturing the complete car in China and then transporting it to Europe or America, obviously the transportation cost will become very high. As the car is hollow from inside, it has got a big shape, but from inside it is totally hollow. So what's the use of providing such a big space to a car? I think the better thing is to disassemble the car, put the various parts of the car in a box and then ship it to the other parts of Europe. Can you imagine that thing? A big car occupying a big space, the car being unfolded, packed into a box and then finally shipped to Europe. Now how much area it is covering? I think at a place where one car is standing, we can put at least 2 or 3 boxes which will be carrying each and every part of a car. So at a place where one car was placed, now you are placing near about 3 cars. So that will reduce the transportation cost and that will increase your profit. And then you are going to assemble all these things in the assembly plants in Mexico or Eastern Europe. Here you will be getting employed, here you will be getting people who will be willing to get employed at very less cost. And then you will be selling your car in Europe or America, because in Europe and America you can ask for the best prices of your car. One more thing is given. Meanwhile, the company's customer care is carried out through call centers located in India. Why the call centers are located in India? 2 points. First of all, India has got a highly educated and technically qualified people who are willing to work at a very less cost. If you employ the same type of technically and educationally qualified people in Europe or America, they will be asking for a higher wages, for a higher salary. But in India, the people are willing to work in less money. In India, they are asking rupees. In America, they will be asking for dollars. So that makes a big difference. And second thing, in the English accent of Indian people is considered to be one of the best. It is, or it can be understood by near about the people residing in each and every part of the world. So it is best to establish the call centers in India. So now you can see the designing is done in United States, components are made in China, assembly plant is established in Mexico and Eastern Europe, the markets are in Europe and America, and the call centers are located in India. Why? The simplest thing is to make profit, and this is the way the multinational corporations work. Let us move towards the next point. Interlinking production across countries. That is the heading, interlinking production across countries. MNCs set up production where it is close to the markets, where there is skilled and unskilled labor available at low cost, and where the availability is assured. MNCs might also look for government policies that look after their interests. It all depends upon the type of industries you are establishing. If the industries is market oriented industry, for example, the textile industry, the fashion changes very soon. So you have to immediately supply the material to the market before the fashion is outdated. So textile industry will be introduced in those areas which are very close to the market. If we talk about the other type of industries, for example, if you are talking about a particular industry which is labor based, you will be establishing this industry in those areas where the skilled as well as unskilled labor is available at low cost. And we can talk about one more point, that is where the availability of raw material is assured. If we talk about where the availability of, here I will have to put one point, where the availability of raw material, this point will come over here, is assured. Let me take the example of iron and steel industry. Iron and steel industry is a raw material based industry. In the geography chapters you have learned about most of the iron and steel industry is established in Chota Nagpur plateau, because all the raw material is very heavy. So if you are transporting these raw materials, it will be increasing your cost price, and if the cost price is more, the selling price will be increased, and that will reduce the demand. So these type of industries which are raw material based industries are located in those areas where the raw material is easily available. And MNCs also look for government policies that can affect their interests. Then the next one comes the ways in which the MNCs spread their production across the globe. The very first one is joint production with local companies. In our book, one example is being given, and that is the example of the collaboration of Mahindra and the Ford company. Ford company is one of the largest manufacturers of automobiles in the world, and it had its collaboration with Mahindra in India. Mahindra was one of the largest producer of jeeps and tractors in India. It had its workshops and infrastructure throughout the country. So if Ford got in collaboration with Mahindra, it can take the advantage of the infrastructure of Mahindra. Now the simplest question in your mind will come, why Mahindra will get in a collaboration with Ford? If you look earlier, Mahindra was producing tractors and jeep, but it was not in the car segment. It was not in the SUVs and MUVs, multi-utility vehicles. But now Mahindra has came up with a very good MUV, and that is Scorpio. So Mahindra was looking for capital and for technology which was available with Ford. So when they got into the collaboration, Mahindra provided the infrastructure which was spread throughout the country, and Ford provided the technology and the capital, and both of them started working. So the very first way by which the MNCs spread their production across the globe is the joint production with local companies. The second one is buy up local company. In our book, the example is given of the American MNC Cargill Food, which bought the Parak Foods from India, which was already established brand in India. I would like to take up the example of Thumbs Up. Earlier it was owned by Parley Products, and now it is owned by the Coke company of USA. When Coke company came into India, a big part of Indian market was already taken up by Pepsi. So to give a tough competition to Pepsi, Coke was looking for some local companies in India. As Thumbs Up was having a good percentage of market in India, Thumbs Up was taken over by Coke from Parley, and the complete industry as well as the market was taken up by Coke. So the second way of spreading their production by the MNCs is to buy up local companies. The third one is to place orders for production with small producers. If I take the example of the city of Agra, Agra is famous for Taj Mahal as well as for its leather products. Lots of shoes are, belts and bags are being produced over here. So lots of workers are there. These are the skilled worker. They make good products, but it lacks in quality because the research centers are not there in Agra. But the labor is very cheap. So for big multinationals, this one is an ideal place. Provide the workers with a good quality leather. This good quality and the design can be generated by the MNC in its research centers, and finally the worker will give you the product as per your requirement. You place your seal, or what you can say, the logo of your company on the product, get it into your showrooms, and you can sell it at higher prices because the labor is very affordable over here. It will reduce your cost and it will increase your profit. So that is the third point, that is place orders for production with small producers. If we come towards the next heading, that is foreign trade and integration of market. Let us first discuss about foreign trade, why it is necessary. The present world in which we are living, no country can remain isolated. Trade is a term in which the products you have in excess, you export it to the other people or you give it to the other people, and the things which you are not having or you are having less in quantity, you buy from them. This is trade. Foreign trade, our country lacks, for example, our country lacks the power resources. We have enough amount of coal, but we lack in petroleum and its byproducts. So we have to import the petroleum and its byproducts from other countries. On the other hand, we have enough amount of coal and raw iron with us. So we export raw iron and coal and we import the petroleum products. This is just an example. So it shows foreign trade is a must for every country in the present world. So how the foreign trade is leading to the integration of market, integration, joining of the markets. Foreign trade creates an opportunity for the producers to reach beyond the domestic market. Now the question which will come in your mind is why the production or the producers will try to reach beyond the domestic market. Where you like to sell your product? You like to sell your product at a place which will give you maximum profit. If you are producing your product in a country like India, but you are not earning your profit in India, on the other hand, you can earn your profit in a country like Canada. You like to sell your product in Canada. So the foreign trade provides you an opportunity that you can take your product from India and can sell it in Canada. Because you are a private sector, because you want to earn profit, you will do the thing. And the foreign trade provides you an opportunity. Same way for buyers, expanding the choice of goods beyond what is domestically produced. Nowadays there are various type of luxurious goods. There are various type of mobiles. You people will be interested in mobiles and other technical gadgets. These things come very late in India. Earlier it used to come very late in India, but in the European market, in the American market, it was introduced instantly. Nowadays you would have seen, or if you people are using internet, you can directly have an access to the website of these companies and you can place your order. Can make the payment of the order through the net banking and within a short period of time you can have your product. Earlier it was not that easy. So the foreign trade provides the buyers also an opportunity to have their choice of goods going beyond what is domestically produced. The third point is prices of similar goods in the two markets tend to become equal. When a buyer can buy the things from America and can buy the thing from India also, if the Indian producer or the Indian seller is putting a high price, what is the option left with you? I think the option left with us is to put the order to the American producer on net, make the payment through net banking or credit card, and he will supply the product at your home in India. That means the demand of the product will reduce in India and obviously the producers and the sellers will be forced to cut down the prices. The same thing can be think about the American producer also. So the prices of similar goods in the two markets tend to become equal. Producers in two countries closely compete against each other even though they are separated by thousands of miles. So overall the 3 points for the producers, for the buyers and the prices. The foreign trade does integrate the markets throughout the world. If we move towards the next one, what is globalization? In simplest words, we can say globalization is the process of rapid integration or interconnection between countries. The complete globe is your market. You can buy the product from anywhere, you can sell the product anywhere, and you can work anywhere. The complete globe is your market. So the integration of the economies of various countries or the countries throughout the globe is termed as globalization. More and more goods and services, investment and technology are moving between countries. If you have money in India but you are not willing to invest it in India because you think that it will not generate enough profit, but if you invest this thing in Australia, it will give you more profit, you are most welcome. You can invest your money in Australia. The same thing is with the goods. You are producing particular thing in India, but you think that in India you are not generating much profit. Sell it wherever you want, wherever you can generate maximum profit. Same thing is related with technology. And one more thing is people usually move from one country to another in search of better income, better jobs or better education. Globalization has got three phases. The first one is the movement of goods and services. The second one is the movement of investment, and the third one is the movement of people. Many qualified people are there in India, but because of the lack of infrastructure, because of the lack of living standards, they are not satisfied with working in India. Their destination is USA because it provides you an ideal infrastructure. There the living standards are very high. If you have the caliber, you can move over there. The same thing can be said for the Africans. If they have the caliber, they find a better place in India, they can come to India. So the movement of goods and services, investments and people throughout the world, that is globalization. Let us move towards the last one in this particular module, factors that have enabled globalization. We have to talk about two factors. The very first one is rapid improvement in technology. Do you think that 4 or 5 years or 10 years earlier, I and you would have interacted with this source of teaching? I don't think. In many parts of the world, still it will be a dream for many people that they will be having the videos of various teachers teaching throughout the world on their TV or on their monitor. But now it is possible. Now the complete world is near about in your laptop. That is either through the internet or through the laptop. Why all this thing has occurred? This one is because the improvement in technology. Whatever products you want, you have your cousin residing in America, you want to talk to him, just get on the mobile and have a direct talk. On the mobile, now the 3G services provide the visuals also, but if you are not going for the mobile, be there on the laptop and have a direct chat with him. You can have the visuals also, audio and video both are available. All these things are having just because of improvement in technology. So the improvement in technology is one of the major factors which is bringing the complete world together and is thus promoting globalization. And second one is even more remarkable has been the developments in information and communication technology. One more point I would like to put over here is, and that is transport. With the help of improvement in technology, improvement in information and communication technology, you can put your order, you can make the payment through the net banking, but the thing is, now the producer from America has to supply the products to you who is located in a city in India. So this movement of good will be held through transport, and the improvement in transport will bring the goods all the way to your home. So basically 2 points are there which has enabled globalization. The first one is the improvement in technology and the second one is in transport. Rest part of the chapter, that is globalization and Indian economy, we will be discussing in the next module. Thank you.